Hey, Ed here from Precision Gun Reviews, and we are looking at one more single stack 9mm polymer framed striker fired concealed carry pistol from Glock. This is the Glock 43. This is a very popular firearm, and we're going to take a look at why. So first of all, this gun has a length of 6.26 inches. It has a height of 4.25 inches and a very narrow width of about an inch at its widest part on the frame there. The slide itself is a little bit narrower. It weighs 18 ounces, or 17.95 ounces as Glock likes to say, and it has a capacity of 6 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. It comes with 3 magazines, 2 of which have a flush base plate, one of which has an extended base plate for a little bit more grip on the firearm. This gun is unloaded. These are the classic Glock polymer coated, polymer encased single stack magazines, very easy to load, and they eject very well using this extended magazine release. A polymer extended magazine release. That brings us into some of the other controls. A very low profile slide lock, some low profile steel takedown tabs, and that is about it besides the trigger. It's a very streamlined firearm. You can see the slide is very simple, clean lines, very simple serrations, but effective. This is Glock's proprietary gas nitride heat treating process on this stainless steel slide. And if you're familiar with Glock, you can see that this is a little bit smoother than the older slides that had sort of a crystalline sort of surface texture to them. As far as other texturing goes, we're taking a look at this grip here. This is actually my favorite Glock grip of all time. It's a narrow grip, but it has some depth to it here, so the gun it feels significant in your hand, and this rough texture frame finish is not terribly rough. It is not overly aggressive, but it keeps the gun in hand, as does this high beaver tail, getting you a high purchase on the gun for a very low bore axis, and that classic Glock sort of forward cant to your grip. I do like this grip very much, especially when compared with the double stack Glocks. Taking a further look at these magazines, you see that the flush base plate remains very much in line with the rest of the grip, as does the extended base plate. So that's something that I always like and I always point out. Let's take a look at the trigger while we're here with the gun in hand. It's Glock's classic polymer trigger with the safe action safety lever, and it feels much like most of Glock's other firearms. It's got a little bit of firm take up here, then it hits a very firm wall, and it snaps very crisply through the trigger pull there, and then has a reset that is audible, tactile, and relatively short. So very audible, very tactile, something that Glock fans love and have come to be accustomed to in all Glock pistols. So it maintains that. It's not the lightest trigger, not the heaviest, but it's a solid trigger and it works well. What doesn't work well, which I don't like, are the sights. Geez, these Glock U-dot sights, I can't stand them. I still haven't blacked out the sides here to make a bar dot, but I promise you I will, because this is distracting and terrible. These sights are polymer, but there's a ton of aftermarket support for Glock and Glock sights. So let's take a look at how we field strip this firearm. If the firearm is unloaded, we field strip it by pulling the trigger, and then pulling this back ever so slightly and pushing forward on the slide. Now you have your gun apart. We have the simple Glock interior. We've got some steel here, and small steel tabs at the rear. And then the slide, a very simple slide interior, and a dual captive recoil spring with a polymer guide rod and this metal sort of encasement there, and a polygonally rifled barrel. This barrel is 3.39 inches long, which is very long for such a small firearm. They've made the gun significantly long from the muzzle end to the rear of the slide, and that allows you to get a little bit more barrel in there while still having the very short height, which is the dimension that people find the most difficult to conceal unless they're carrying appendix. Putting the gun back together is as simple as dropping the barrel in, putting the recoil spring back in place, and sliding the slide back on, and it's ready to go. Now, Glocks are known for their reliability, and this one is no different. This Glock 43 has not had any hiccups. It's shot steel cased, aluminum cased, brass cased, defensive loads, everything without a hiccup, which is wonderful because, as we always say, that's the most important part of a firearm, is whether it works or not and whether you can rely on it when you need it. In terms of accuracy, it is a small firearm. However, at about 8 yards, 24 feet, we got something like that. Remember, this is 4 inches here, so it's about just 4 inches, and that's shooting at speed. And again, not really aiming to be the most accurate in the world. It definitely does its part if you do your part. And again, I don't like these sights, so if I fix those up, I'm sure that those groups will tighten up, and especially since I'm shooting this in between a variety of other triggers. So if you get this gun and you use this gun, you will tighten that group up. And it wasn't a bad group to begin with. One thing I really do love about this, which I mentioned before, is the combination of factors that help make this gun a better shooter. The fact that this is such a high grip, that there's a lot of space there to get your hand on, that despite it being so short, the barrel and this portion of the frame is very small, means that there's more to grab onto. The fact that your grip is canted forward and the length of this sight radius and the length of the barrel, they all contribute to making the gun more shootable for such a small sized firearm. So comparing this firearm to a number of other small single stack firearms, it is in the upper echelons, and this is a gun that I have kept and that I will carry for the foreseeable future in the situation that would call for a small single stack 9mm. I really do like this Glock 43, and I recommend it wholeheartedly. It's a wonderful firearm. Manufacturers suggested retail price anywhere from $520 to $550. I'm not sure, it's kind of hard to tell, but you can find these guns online for around $450, $475, and they come with the 3 magazines, your standard Glock case, a very nice case, a lock, some cleaning rods, everything you need to be set up. And there's plenty of aftermarket support, like I mentioned, with the sights, but also with holsters. You can find holsters for this gun. They are constantly in production from every holster manufacturer. So again, this Glock 43, we do recommend it here at PGR. So if this Glock interests you, I wouldn't hesitate to say go out and grab it. Thanks for watching PGR. I'm Ed. If you like our videos, please do give us a thumbs up and definitely subscribe to the channel so you can get all of our stuff as it comes out. Until next time, you stay safe out there.
I just wanted to give a quick shout out and thanks to the gun store of Conway, South Carolina. They help us transfer in all of our firearms for review. And you should check out the gun store at scgunstore.com. They are a full-service firearms, guns, and gear shop with an indoor range. They stock a wide selection of handguns, shotguns, suppressors, NFA items, tactical rifles, hunting rifles, and gear. They are fully stocked with all calibers of ammunition. They have gun safes, holsters, magazines. They do gunsmithing on site if you happen to be in the Conway, South Carolina area. Additionally, they hold training courses for those in the area. And they also offer a fully automatic experience in their gun range with an AR-15 or a Thompson 45 Tommy gun. They've got knives, they've got used firearms, parts, accessories, really just about anything you could think of related to firearms, home, and personal defense. I recommend you take a trip over to scgunstore.com, and no matter where you are, go to shop.scgunstore.com, where you can shop their inventory online and have it delivered right to your local FFL. That's the Gun Store of Conway, South Carolina. Thanks for making all the reviews that you see here on PGR possible.